In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to use a cut file from Silhouette Studio. And the first thing I do is check my mat, and I go to the page settings, which is this icon right here. And I'm using a 12 by 12 mat, so I make sure I select it. And I'm going to go to the store. That's this icon right over here, show the online store. And this week here, this is the free design. All you have to do is add it to your cart. Well, up here, I'm sorry. I'll go back to the home page. So this is what you see when you first come into the store. And you click on free shape of the week. And I already own it, but you add it to your cart and then it'll download. So I'm going to go back to my library, and under recent downloads I'm going to select it, double click it. Now this is a pretty cool file. Select this object, you'll notice that all of the objects are grouped together into one. You can move it. I'm clicking and dragging. And this is a pretty neat file because not only do you have the cut shapes over here, you also have the option where you can print the inside here, so you don't even have to cut the shapes if you don't want to. You could use Silhouette's print to cut options. Now, what I want to do is show you how to resize this image. Let's say this tag is larger or smaller than what you want. The first thing we need to do is determine the size. I'm going to look at the tag, see, and that's the outside dimensions. And if you notice this grid is 1 inch per block. It's a 1 inch square. So as you go, you see the little crosshairs. You go up here to your ruler, there's 1 inch, 2 inches, and you have to be within this red line. And let's just line up this tag where the top's at a top and side. Pretty close, I don't need to be exact. I'm going to zoom in so we can see better. Okay, so this is approximately about 2.5 inches wide by, oops, can't get it exact. Okay, 1, 2, 3, about 3 3/4 high. Okay, now let's say that you want this, I'm just going to make it easy. Let's say you want it 4 inches high. What I'm going to do is keep it slow. Now we're going to go to the one that right here says open scale window. Click that. And let me zoom back out here real quick. Actually, I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to any corner, keep lock aspect ratio first. And then I'm going to click and drag. What did I say? I wanted it bigger or taller. Let's see. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Make it a little bit taller. Okay, now what's happening is as it's getting taller, it's automatically adjusting the width as well. And because I left everything grouped, all the pieces parts over here are scaling along with this. Another way to do this is I'm going to keep it selected, Object, Ungroup. And click over here. Now I've got this ungrouped. And if I wanted to just, let's say I've got just this tag. I don't have all the other pieces parts. I want to just cut the tag. And I want to have it a different size. Select it. Go back to the scale settings. Lock the aspect ratio. And let's say I want it, see it's a width that I want to be specific. And let's say I want the width to be 4 inches. So I'm just going to put in 4, which automatically adjusts the height, and click apply. And the print files in there as well on this specific image. But if you don't want it, then go to Object and Ungroup again. This is a group inside of a group. And then you just delete what you don't want. If you want to know how to print the file, print and cut, then refer to the video that shows you how to use the print to cut feature. And here you have it. That's how you rescale your objects. Okay, let's say you made a mistake and you wanted to undo it. For instance, let's say we don't want this larger object. We'll go Edit, Undo Move, Edit, Undo Delete, Undo Move, and if we didn't do too many, I'm not sure what this is set for, how many undos it'll do. Let's see if we can get back to where we started here. Undo resize. There we go. And the other option, let's do the undo ungroup as well. Let's see. There we go, we got one object again. The other option is just to take the object, the whole object, and to make it one object again, I'm clicking and dragging over all the objects. Select it. I'm just going to delete it, and I'm going to go back to my library, and I'm going to get it back again. It's as easy as that. So if you make a mistake, no big deal. So the other thing, let's ungroup this again. Ungroup it. And I'm going to get rid of all this. Just select it, ungroup it. Something about selecting, let me show you here, is I want it, let's see, this is one object, the trees. And let's say that I'm trying to select multiple things and I'm going like this. You notice it's not selected yet? It won't be selected. I can just keep going as far as I want, but it won't be selected until I get all the objects. And once you see in this particular group, and if you see that, notice the little corners, that means you've got the whole object selected. And that becomes important when you want to move it around as an object, or select it when it's around other objects. Here, just get rid of this. And let's say all I want is the print to cut images. There we go. And if I want to move them, I can just select them all and move them within my cut lines here to utilize the paper. You can also change just parts of a file. You can ungroup. There we go. I must not have had it selected when I was trying to ungroup it. Okay, so now we have just that little circle. If I want to make it bigger, I just click the, let's say I want a big old hole here. Come on, move. There we go. You can also select objects and move it with your arrow keys on your keyboard here. I'm not going to print. But anyway, that's another way to alter. I think you probably know this, but just in case, wherever the red line is, that's where it's going to cut a hole. Let's see, anything else I can tell you about ungrouping? Well, I think that's it. This tutorial was made in response to a question on the Silhouette Fanatic group at StampTV.com. And if you have any questions or if you want a specific tutorial, just write and let me know, and I will try to accommodate. Have fun playing with your Cameo.